Welcome.
You are watching Line Screw 1.
Well, hello tubers. Hope you're doing well wherever you are in this crazy YouTube universe. Today, we're going to talk about Carolyn's RV life. She's got an agent, a literary agent. Now, I'm going to predict, just like when she got a trademark attorney to protect her name to prevent people from talking about her. That didn't work because she got bad advice. I'm going to predict this is going to be bad advice too. And it does present questions, and it's worthy of commentary because it's funny. Because we all know this is just kind of set things up. She's going to blame the man because if the man is an agent, well, if it don't go her way, the man is in trouble. And of course the company, probably men shareholders. Now, she's not very wise to the ways of the world. And a bit naive. She's got that liberal naivety, which is so common in the libs nowadays. If you actually have a book that is interesting, an agent will just shop it around. They'll pay you money. She's probably dealing with a vanity press issue. For those of you who are not aware about vanity press, it's like a term used for people who have vanity and they think that they have a great story, and they trick the people into actually paying to have their book published. So the person who would normally get paid by a publisher, they have to pay the publisher. It's the opposite of what you really want. And a lot of people get duped by that. And there's a couple of hybrid different forms of that. But generally speaking, anybody that's got a good idea, or that maybe they're famous, and they've got something important to say that is worthy of a book, because let's face it, books don't sell like they used to. And there's just no way in God's green earth that she's going to be able to get a nice big advance and have that agent shopping around between Macmillan and Scheinman and Schuster or Penguin Publishing or God knows, all the big ones. It's not going to happen. I can just see how this is going to work out. Now, what motivated me to actually talk about it was her Twitter. Twitter's always got all sorts of crazy nonsense about what she is up to. So I'm going to quote her here. This is from her Twitter from a day ago. If an agent tells you they read your first 10 pages, and in air quotes, with interest, that's a good thing, right? She's asking. Or is it just something they say? Well, Carolyn, glad to answer your question. It's just something they say. I'm sure that the with interest was things like, when you talk and brag about you can bathe on 1 cup of water or less, well, that it is interesting, not in a very positive sense. It's interesting in a peculiar sense, like a very odd. I wouldn't call anything that Carolyn would put on paper would be like a page turner that you could make a movie out of. She's living her own movie in her mind on YouTube. And yeah, when it goes sideways, it's always about the man-hating. There's a lot of, I'm sure there'll be a lot of chapters about how the men have hurt her father, her brother, her neighbors, her co-workers, her, male followers, the conservatives, all the men and the people that don't agree with her. Because she sliced her audience down so thin, she's immediately eliminated the conservatives. She's eliminated a lot of the moderates, even a lot of moderate, fence-riding liberals have walked away from her. She's completely alienated men. She's basically down to the invalids and the what was that term we used to use? Oh, shut-ins. Yes, the shut-ins. People that have infirmity of some sort, that the older ladies that have a lot of grievances against men. That's kind of her demographic, and it's sad that she's kind of shrunk her audience down to that. So I really wonder what she could possibly say in a book And I don't think she's going to sell a lot of it. Now, anybody can actually just crank out an electronic ebook. And as long as it fits the electronic profile of what, it was required for whatever site hosts it, you can self-publish. And, you get a piece of the action. The person that runs, or the company that runs the site that allows these ebooks to be published, and there's many of them, all the big ones that you can think of. They get their piece of the pie because they control the actual access to it. So, but what could she sell? Maybe 1,000 over the years, or she could maybe sell 1,000 ebooks, maybe to all the man-hater club ladies that she likes to address. So, with all the time required to even crank out a crappy autobiography, I really can't see it being a page turner that's going to sell, tens of thousands of editions. It's not going to happen. So, I don't know. And the fact that she puts that on Twitter, she's stroking her own ego, thinking, oh yeah, I got an agent here. Well, do you really got an agent? And probably what you're going to have to do is rewrite a lot of this stuff. And, to be honest, a lot of biographies are written by ghostwriters, and they're tweaked and edited and re-edited. And I don't know, is there a market for her to just talk about how much she hates men, and how she washes with a cup of water or less, and how she hides in the forest away from people, and how she tries to make a living off of other people by avoiding a real job, and she lives a poverty-stricken life because of it? And then, she could probably do a whole chapter on me trying to keep her honest, because I'm probably her best ally and her big advocate that says, look, you got the Berkeley degree, go hang out with the libs in California, get a 6-figure liberal job at one of those Berkeley universities, and run with it. Be a diversity and inclusion officer at one of these libtard universities. Yeah, why don't you do that? 6 figures a year plus benefits. Hey, great. Why don't you sign up for that, Carolyn? But oh no, you gotta hide in the forest because you can't afford an RV park and the daily $40, $50 a day fee. And you can't afford the gas. You can't afford that. God, it's all because of an evil man like me who keeps her channel down. So apparently the fact that she's not making, $1 million a year on her channel is because of a man or men, particularly me. Like I'm that powerful. Like, oh my goodness, the line screw is so powerful because he uses criticism and free speech against me. And, it's like when you see these kids get interviewed on universities where they say, hey, wouldn't it be a great idea to just get rid of free speech so we get rid of hatred? No, that's the wrong thing. If you don't like what somebody says, well, that's free speech. You use your free speech to balance it out. That's what free speech is for. You say something, somebody else says something, a third party says something, and we all make a reasonable decision on where the truth lies. That's reality today, folks. But anywho, is Carolyn really got an agent? And do you think it's a legit agency where they're going to offer her an upfront, money, little bonus just to sign up, and your agent peddles it around to all the big publishers, and she gets that big check? I don't think so, folks. And I think it's going to go the exact same way with her trademark attorney. She was so proud of that a few years ago, how that would prevent people from using her name and talking about her. She failed to realize that even the big companies like Pepsi, you can put the logo next to you and say, hey, I don't like Pepsi and here's the reasons why. No different than I or anybody else can say, hey, I've got a criticism and a concern about Carolyn's RV life. And a trademark does not prevent free speech. Not at all. Just like I think this agent is not going to bode very well for her for getting her little book deal and a little signing bonus and whatever. This is not gonna sell. In fact, even old, washed up celebrities that try to do it, they don't even make a lot of money. And some of these people are household names. In fact, somebody who I really don't like, I bet you even Stormy Daniels could crank out a book right now, and it would sell a lot better than Carolyn's RV Life. Not like I really enjoy to read anything that either of them would say, but I'm just, putting things in perspective. So you guys, my audience, you guys are very smart people. I want you to put in the comments section on what you think's going on with her agent, and the feedback that it was interesting. Well, I doubt it. You put your comments down below on what you think is brewing, and where do you think this is going to end up? I'm going to think this is going to end up a flop. She's going to sell a few hundred, copies, maybe 1,000 over a couple years at best. The electronic copies, because those are the cheapest, because they don't have to bind them or ship them. Lot easier to actually make an ebook. But you don't make much as a publisher unless you're selling a lot of them. So anyway, that's just my thoughts. Just trying to provide, proper commentary and, feedback on Carolyn's RV Life. I watch so you don't have to. You're welcome. In the meantime, folks, hope you're doing well. I'll talk to you soon. Over and out.
Gonna figure out what we've done, what we need to do. Yeah, I got you, I got you, I got you.